Hi everyone, so I'm going to react to BFB 17 right now, but I just got up and I'm still wearing my retainers, so if I sound a little strange, that's why, and enough with the retainer shame, no more of that. For other context, I actually finished, oh, I gotta turn off my cell phone notifications. For context, I finished a Cary KH video and uploaded it yesterday around noon, so it's been 24 hours since then, but I was waiting for the sponsor to approve it, and they did last night, so I was gonna make it public today, but I also don't want to make it public at the exact same time as the episode so that people who are subscribed to both channels and watch them as soon as they come out, they can watch both. So I'll probably wait maybe half an hour. So I figured in that half an hour downtime, I'll react to the episode. Now, so more context. We hired a lot of new animators to work on this new episode, so there's maybe 20, 25 people working on it. So the style of animation is going to change a lot. And also because I guess I wanted to make sure everyone knew what they were doing, I did a lot more proof watching and checking up on people through the production of this episode than usual. So whereas with BFB 15, I hadn't seen the episode animated at all before watching it. This time I've seen it all the way through a couple times. It's more like working on a movie, I guess, where the writers and directors, of course, they watch it multiple times before it actually comes out. So because of that, I'm going to be a lot less surprised about what happens because I already know. But I'll react anyway, and I know you just want to see the episode start playing, so I'm gonna stop talking. Well, I'm gonna talk through the reaction. Also, I boosted my microphone like 12, 15 times, so I should be loud enough now. Hopefully I'm not clipping, but clipping is better than being too quiet. So hopefully you'll hear my voice over the episode itself. But here we go. 15,000. It's 12:08, so it hasn't been out for 10 minutes yet, so they gotta calm down. I guess I'll... Isn't it cringe to like your own videos? But on the other hand, I didn't do any of the animating, so it's fine. Actually, I'll undo. Yeah, I don't want to be cringe. Okay, so I'll watch.
Hey, Gelatin! How do you like our new home?
I would say it's pretty rad.
Yeah, so this is the first scene. They're in their new home, and they're playing around with the grass. I guess that's pretty obvious.
And if you squish it with your feet in the right way, it makes a cool squeaky sound. Watch.
Whoa, the 3D panning.
Okay, I think I've seen enough. Bye! What about you?
Yeah, so that's the first cut between two animators. I don't want to reveal what parts each animator did so that, like, people don't target one animator and say, your style is the worst. But there was a shift there, and I feel like it's fine. I know that other people on the team were concerned that it switches too much.
You'd better take note of this.
Says the person who got eliminated for inflating her teammate to death.
Thank you for standing up for me.
It's just my duty.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite scenes in the episode is coming up. It's this part. It's about, I mean, okay, spoilers, but it's the high four scene. When I was writing it, it was like, oh, this just has to happen. It's so four-like.
Oh, I only count one.
One is still not far.
Oh yeah, I was watching Michael's edit. Like, Michael added in all the music, and I really think that at this part, the music really helps amplify the joke to the next level. Yeah.
This is so dumb. Four, can you just tell us what's going on with the competition?
Yeah, I guess that gets into the debate of like how many fingers should cartoon characters have, because 5 is realistic, but it also looks kind of busy, so Mickey Mouse has 4 or something, and because of that, so many other characters like SpongeBob also have 4, but doesn't matter for BFDI because it's usually just 1. It's just a ball at the end of the line.
So many of us are very confused.
Including the viewers.
Put your times tables away. 4,
Oh.
clarification.
I never actually took a look at those times tables.
Put your times tables away.
Oh my god, Ruby is quite beginner. She hasn't learned anything above 4 times 4. Oh, because it goes up to 4. But she needs to go up to 5 at some point.
4, clarification,
Aw,
please.
poor Four, the squiggling mouth.
Hello? 4.
It's just, there's a little bit of life in that
seem unresponsive.
comatose body.
Step aside, Taco. I know what 4 needs right now.
This whole section is a clone of X times at his value. Well, not a clone, but like following the same template. Actually, I'm gonna do this because whenever I have both my ears on the headphones, it's hard to hear my own voice, and then I might talk weirdly. So I found that having one ear listening to the audio and the other one listening to myself is actually pretty helpful.
Where my co-host is. Then let's go to the... Wait, what?
Now the
4,
template is
did you just ask where
over.
your co-host is?
Yeah, where's that?
Oh yeah, Top Hat
Or you
made all the
told X to
backgrounds, and I
leave,
think they
and we know
work really well
exactly where he
because
is.
they're large enough that the camera can move to different places in the screen. With these like zoom ups. So there's like a pillar on the right, which is like very visually interesting. But it's not the only part of the background. See, there's like parallax panning. That's quite cool. Oh, this is the intro that Michael worked on yesterday. It's just the same intro. Oh, new poses. Whoa, that's really nice that we have more screen time per character. But I think, oh my God, dotted X. So sad. Well, we'll see what happens about that.
Contestants, I have assembled you.
Yeah, this upcoming scene, the point of it was like both to explain what 4 wanted, but also to help clarify who the actual contestants in this new branch of BFB are, because there's only 14 now, and we want to make people super clear on the same page of who's who.
You here today to retrieve X.
Yeah, I never agreed to that.
I saw this poll. Oh no, Woody, no. This poll that said that Woody is the most
You're gonna do it.
overrated character.
No, it's too hard.
But given that how badly Woody had it in season 1, I feel like he's not overrated. You know, if he was getting all this praise like Loser was, maybe that would be overrated. Okay, so this is the roll call section.
No thanks.
Closer. Ruby.
No siree.
Spongy.
No.
Taco.
Nope.
Teardrop. Woody.
Oh wow, Woody says not even while flying.
No thanks. Flower. The answer was, is, and will always be no. Cool story. But what
Now,
if I
this is the
add back
4
the
ASMR
original
part.
BFDI
I don't
as a
think I recorded
prize?
myself voicing these lines, so I'm not gonna have a BFB 17 behind the scenes, but I haven't done that for a few episodes anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But I will do it in the future. Oh yeah, this is a callback. That's the word, callback to BFB 1.
Wow, there's 14 of you. Why don't I split you into 2?
Color
2
coding.
teams of 7, based on whether you're colored closer to 4
4
color
or
or X color.
Yeah, I don't know if it's clear at this point. Also, let me just make sure that it's not covering up. I don't think it's covering up. But one thing that I wanted to really push for this episode was to make it more digestible to new viewers. And I felt that throughout a lot of BFB, we were ignoring the fact that 64 characters to keep track of is just too much for a lot of new people, especially when they're broken up into 8 teams of 8 that don't really have any indicator of who's on which team. So I personally, when I watch other people's object shows, it takes me a while to remember who's on whose team, especially even when there's only 2 teams. So I'll just be like, oh yeah, there was this, I don't know, Cracker character, but I don't remember if he's on the same team as the ice cream character or not. So I know color coding is so basic and not related to personality at all, but it makes it so easy for new viewers to remember who's on whose team. And also, I think the concept of people being forced on a team that they did not choose is interesting, because it means that characters will have to deal with other characters that they really did not want to have to deal with, which does happen in this episode, and I hope to explore it further. I don't want to make any spoilers for the future, but I think, if everyone is goody two shoes friends, easygoing with everyone else on their team, it doesn't have as much interesting conflict and resolution. So yeah. Oh, you can also see 3 blue 1 brown in my recommended. Yeah, YouTuber. Okay, I'm gonna continue.
Oh darn, looks like I've been judged by the color of my food coloring once again. Perhaps I should use this paint bucket to change my color. Then
Yeah,
I
Sam
could
Lee
avoid
voices
being on the
Lollipop,
same
and
team as
I
Belinda's
always liked
ruthless
his voice from
murderer.
episode, or his meaning Sam's
X-colored, huh?
voice since
I never
episode
thought of
1.
it that way, but
Just 'cause it's so
I guess I
different from
am.
everyone
Who else
else's.
is with me? Oh yes, it's season 1's winner. And
Yeah,
I'm still
call
waiting
back.
strategies from him, and Blocky's here too.
Yeah, this
Awesome.
whole
Can you
scene,
give me
like
all
from
my
here to about a minute
assassinations?
later,
No
was
way.
inserted into
Soldiers
the
on my
episode
team, too.
later.
Super fame can help me get sales for my new fashion line.
So this originally did not exist, but I wanted the teams to kind of do more self-reflection and figure out who they are before the contest actually started.
That'll be a future contest.
Oh,
Wow.
Ruby,
Building
I don't
excitement.
know if I like our new four-colored team.
Yeah,
Why
these are the
not?
only
You
alliance
got
members
me,
who
and
are
Tina
in
will never say a bad
the
thing
final
about
14
you.
at this
That's
point.
true, but she's here too. Oh, her?
Oh, there's
You
also
two
hearts
never
in the
got over your
bushes. That's quite
awkward
cute, and I did not notice that
phase.
earlier.
No.
It's showing
but why
that-
do we resolve it now?
See the hearts?
Ruby,
Love
now's
is
not the
everywhere.
time. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, see, this is,
I'm just so worried.
Hey, look at the bright side of things. At
You
least
know,
you're not on
this
the
is
same team
Ruby
as
showing her
Blocky, who's murdered
personality,
you
how she's just
2,763
too loud at
times.
certain
That is
parts,
nice, but
and maybe a
hold
little
on,
socially
aren't you and
unaware,
him
but
both red?
Wait, you're right.
Bubble
Hey,
keeps her as a
Thor?
friend.
Why am I on a different team from
And this is the
Blocky
end
when
of the
we're both
inserted
red?
scene.
Why? Do you want to be on the same team?
Quit squabbling.
Oh yeah, this was a little bit of a
Whichever
confusing
team
part for me
gets
because
back to me wins,
the
and
red
other team is up
characters
for elimination.
are equally as distant color-wise from blue and yellow.
Oh, what are you scared that
Oh,
we'll never
Michael
be
added
able
in
to
these
get
little
at-
tags. I've never seen these tags before, but I was like mentioning them, and it's really cool that Michael added them because they help like cement people's mind. Who am I looking at? Which team am I watching? So people are on the same page.
X.
New comrades, we need not fear. Our team is X-colored, so we're sure
Whoa,
to win.
cool effect of
And
it
how do
going
you
small
know?
in. And also, I know that
Wait.
that scene of X's eyes moving around, that's from the
Spot of
600,000 subs
saliva on the
video, because I animated that,
My poison.
except
Oh, no.
animating is just moving one object
Loser,
around.
that's disgusting.
Say it with me. X marks the spot.
X marks the spot.
By the laws of nature.
Yeah,
X
I
must
think,
come
okay,
here
it's
on
good that
his
Luz's
own
voice
to mark this
is
very
easy to hear
spot.
because...
Sounds like pseudoscience
Oh,
to me.
Taco's actually touching the saliva there, which is really gross. I mean, oh,
Leafster,
well,
how are we gonna
Thor's
get
eyes
X?
are also doing
By
stuff.
using our imagination.
Okay, bye.
We've had enough of
Bubble,
losers,
you got
of
any
Leafy's
ideas?
excitement.
No.
Bubs, I got an idea. Right before her unforgivable elimination, our Mystic Alliance leader Pencil gifted me her most
Yeah, see,
prized
I like the
possession,
idea of
urging
Pencil.
me
Okay, I don't want
not
to say
open
too
it
much,
until
but
the
you know, I
stars
want
align.
more of the
I
Alliance's
have
presence
safely guarded this
in the
treasure
show,
for
even
many
though
years,
not all of them
until
are
someday.
contestants.
Well, let's use it.
You know, characters who are not in the show can still have an influence on the show by, you know, other
Let's
characters
get it.
talking about them and listening to them somehow, as if they can send emails or texts. I mean, okay, that's obviously not true, but there's some way in which they know what other people are thinking in and out of,
Why
out
don't
of
we
the
just
show.
drive around
Actually,
the hills?
Ignore what I
Boy,
just
Bob,
said.
you're
That's
hurting
not
my
true.
brain. I don't know what around means.
I'm streaming
Also,
of
why'd you
consciousness
bring
right
that paint
now,
bucket
so
with us?
None of your business.
I'm not like speaking the word of truth, and you should never think that these reaction videos are the word of truth coming out. Back to the X-Color team.
What's up?
I think you're a great leader, but this X marks the spot thing isn't working.
A fan is doubting me? No.
This is a very traumatic moment for Loser. He's not used to people doubting him.
Then it'll work.
Oh, okay.
Also,
I'll believe harder then.
this is one of the first times you get to hear a character's heartbeat. You can use that to estimate the size of their heart, their body, their circulatory system. That's information
An
that
alliance?
you don't get
Flower,
easily.
That strategy
So
might have
take
worked
of
on
it
me
what you
9
will.
years ago, but today you can't win me over that easily.
Oh, come on. I was just...
Hold on, what's this with you and rotten flesh?
Yeah, Flower.
Well, I mean...
Oh,
Time to speak the
Flower.
truth. What's
I
going
can
on?
explain.
You have 6 petals now.
Oh yeah, this is
That's
a joke that I wrote that I wasn't sure if it would
Now you have
land.
4.
Like, it's kind of absurdist, but we'll see. I like it though.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you
showing
are.
Flower in
Come
a
back to me when
position
you
of
can keep your
weakness.
story
You
a
know,
little
she's
more
not just
consistent.
an evil brat who gets eliminated first. She's multi-dimensional. Another heart in the background. This is the first time we've seen X since the split.
We're here to take X back.
Oh, it looks like it
Hey,
says
who's gonna
van
have to grab
times
X?
2. I
I
never
thought
realized
you
that.
volunteered to.
But it's like,
No, I
there
thought
are
I was
2
gonna
vans.
grab. Want me to do it?
No, you're too fragile.
Oh, for blub's sakes.
Where's Teardrop going?
Here we go. That rubber duck
No,
noise.
you didn't. I personally like X as our host.
Yeah, X is the kindest host of the 3 we've seen by far. I hardly remember meeting the pulsating cyborg box, but I'm confident X is nicer than even him.
Yeah, I think it was good to show a few more contestants who are still on the original 40. Because,
Hey guys,
you know,
don't fear. Why don't we just
if it's just
glue
the
X to
14
ground?
who split off to the weird filler land,
Don't you
then
know that contact with
that's
glue
sad.
can damage
So,
your skin? Well, it damages
oh,
your skin
two's
indeed.
line. It's just two's
Whatever
line.
doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Besides, I
Basically,
bought
more
the glue
characters get to have
certified
screen time when we do
gentle on numeric
crossovers like
membrane.
this.
But where is it?
Switcheroo.
Oh, there's a picture of 2 in the corner,
Got it.
stylized, and then I also saw
Now
the
guess
marbles
we'll get to
that were
be
thrown into the
hosting our
hydrochloric
show.
vat of acid in BFBI episode 13.
And next time,
Oh, I like how X
stick
is
to your own
just kind of like
host,
sitting
who I
there,
hate.
Quick, throw out
looking
the lasso.
kind of not sad, but like, you know, not taking action. He's just like letting everything happen around him.
Bye-bye, silly boy. I have valued our time
Like the
together.
music showing how I don't know how to describe it. Not grim, but intense the situation is. You know, which team is gonna win? We don't know.
I'm telling you, loser, your X marks the spot strategy is utter nonsense.
Yeah,
X
end of
has
the
marked your
contest.
saliva spot with orange paint.
Wow,
was
so
my strategy
that was 11
that
minutes
worked.
in.
When your team wins, the other team with the
I was worried that the
four-colored
contest itself would be too small of a proportion of the episode, but it looks like it's about half. Let's find out exactly. So the contest starts right here.
Go, Sin, go.
5:38. It starts at 5:38 and it ends at
Spot strategy is utter nonsense.
10:59. So I said 5:38, right? 5:38, 10:59. Doing math. 5:21. So it's 5.5 minutes. Okay, that's less than half of a 13-minute episode. But given that we had to establish, you know, teams, Ford's motive, and all that, I think it's fine to have a shorter contest for now. Also, I hope one of the benefits of having fewer teams is that we can actually get a more in-depth view of what each team is doing. So when I was writing this, at least, I definitely felt a lot of relief knowing that I only had to cover 2 teams. So it wasn't this kind of jump all over the place episode. I know some people like it when it jumps through all these different teams, but for me personally, I feel like all rivalries eventually boil down to 1v1. So this helps, you know, cut to the chase. Here are the 1v1. Yeah.
Yay! X has marked your saliva spot with orange paint.
It was my strategy that worked.
Oh yeah, I chose orange because all the other colors were off limits because you can't paint X yellow because he's already yellow. Blue. Why didn't I choose blue? Because that looks like water, or maybe it's because that's 4 colored, and I didn't want this to conflict with the idea of an X colored or 4 colored team. And then definitely not red because that would look like blood, and I don't want this to be scary for kids. You know, I know some kids are watching out there, and you get easily scared by the color red because it looks like blood. Do you see this here? This, oh, you don't see it. This red. I know you're like quivering with fear right now. And like I feel bad that you're quivering, but you know, you gotta grow up. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so the paint can't be red, it can't be, I guess it couldn't be green because it has to be on the grass itself and visible. So yeah, but I know red, orange, yellow, green, those all, like, if you're color blind, which I know 8% of males are, then those four colors will get hard to distinguish. Which I'm sorry about that. Maybe I should have been purple paint. I don't know why I didn't pick. Oh, I know why. Because Lollipop says, oh, maybe I should paint myself a different color so I can be on a different team. But Lollipop's already purple, so she wouldn't gain anything by painting herself purple. So it had to be a color closer to X, but not X's color exactly.
When your team wins, the other team with the 4 colored contestants loses.
Viewers at home, vote who you think should stay. Type the letter with the square brackets to save one of these guys. The one with the least votes leaves the show next episode. Last episode, over 59,000 of you voted, but I noticed this episode. Last votes leaves the one with the least votes leaves the show.
Yeah, one thing that I want to make clear is that we're switching up the voting system so that you vote who you like, and then the contestant with the least votes, instead of the most votes, leaves. And the reason we did this, well, I don't know if I want to go into all the details, but you guys may have remembered that in season 1, Ice Cube would have gotten pretty far if we didn't nerf her, right? I mean, she made it to Final 6 by essentially never making a name for herself at all. And that's just because she never stirred the bucket, or whatever the phrase is. She never made a ruckus. And I think, that's fine, and like Ice Cube's got her fan base now. But I think characters should not be rewarded for doing nothing in an episode. We want characters who have lots of fans and haters to be in the show, because they are what people watch to, or like, they're what people talk about. And I don't want the show to be like the final 3 are all floaters who just floated into the final 3. I think everyone has to make a name for themselves if they want to survive. So we're flipping it. And what that means is, I guess the final 2 are going to be the people with the fewest votes, but that also means that those are the lowest numbers, which means it's going to be a lot closer. So it's, I think, personally going to be harder to know who's actually going to get eliminated until the voting period actually ends, because they could swap more. That's just a hypothesis. I haven't tested the numbers, but I mean, now that the episode's out and people are probably already tallying up votes, I could see if that's true or not. But basically, one thing I want to avoid is, in certain BFB episodes, you knew who was going to be eliminated. So, I still regret the way I wrote Stapy in BFB 8 with the quiz contest, because it was just so obvious that Stapy was going to be eliminated, because he was the one who did the bad thing. And same with Fiery Jr. in BFB 12, I think. I'm not really quite sure. But I don't want one character to be the sole reason a team loses, and because of that everyone just piles on votes on that person and they leave. I want me as the writer and someone I don't like the word managing, but as the person who wrote the episode, I don't want to know who gets eliminated. I want it to be up in the air until the voting ends, so that like I can also be excited when the results finally come out. So as of this episode, looking at all these people, I really don't know who would be eliminated. I know that just from BFDI Legacy, Leafy is really popular, but she also caused some drama this episode, so who knows? And that's something I like. Okay, I'll finish the episode now. Enough talking!
Next episode. Last episode, over 59,000 of you voted, but I noticed that half of you still aren't subscribed. That is why, after you vote, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you see who gets eliminated when the next episode comes out. Cary and I really want to say thank you so much to our new team.
So many recommended characters.
You guys did an incredible job this
is
first
a
episode,
triple
and
split
I look
screen.
forward to making
Trans
many
rights
future
taco,
episodes.
yes,
So to
trans
both the
rights
crew
to
and to
everyone.
you viewers out there, thank you, and see you
I
in
think
BFB 18.
it's nice. This vote screen is really nice. It's aesthetically pleasing. Props to the person who drew it. You know who you are. I'm gonna not say because we gotta protect privacy or something. And then I also like how he managed to fit in recommended characters, even though when I was writing the script, I didn't account for that.
8, 1, 2.
Yeah, so that's the episode. Shorter than the average recent BFB episode, but remember that season 1 of BFDI, which is, I still feel like, the hallmark of the show. Is that the right word? The average episode length was under 10 minutes, and that, I don't have any regrets that I made BFDI episodes too short, so I feel like you can't complain with a 12, 13-minute episode. Especially because we're going back to more frequently than monthly. I mean, you always are allowed to complain. So if you want to complain, go ahead. But what I'm saying is, like, me personally, I feel like these episodes are long enough for me.
I'm so happy you're back. Are you?
It depends. How good are you at patty cake?
I'm super pro.
Yay! Then
Hooray,
I'm
they're back
happy as
together.
well.
Get in, Teardrop. We're going shopping.
Oh, I guess.
Okay, that line was supposed to be a callback to Mean Girls, that movie where, what's her name, Regina says, "Get in, loser, we're going shopping," and I was gonna quote that word for word, but I don't think it's really in Ruby's personality to call someone a loser. Even though in this universe loser is a compliment, I still just don't feel like Ruby would say that.
Now we gotta head all the way back.
Just look at the silver lining. More bonding time for new friends.
Do I have to remind you that you killed me one time?
I still like the Free Smart Supervan background, even though it's so old.
I may be
Wait,
sweet,
the
but my
van
news
leaped
is
because they
not.
all said wait? Do you know how heavy that van is? You can't just say huh and lift the van into the air. That's like lifting 3 tons of metal. It's just not gonna happen. Anyway, episode's done. Yeah, good work to everyone who worked on it, and
Hey everyone,
Teapot
Fiery here.
will come as well as
Gelatin.
BFB 18.
How-
I don't know if we announced the date for BFB 18, and I don't want to announce one here either, but it should come at least as fast as BFB 17, if not faster, because we've already kind of gotten everyone, all the people working on the episode now know what it's like to do an episode cycle. Yeah, okay, well, thanks for watching. I don't want to make this reaction video super long. It's 12:33 p.m. now, so that means I've been recording for about 25 minutes, and I think that's long enough. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.